Hello, church family. This is Pastor Daniel coming to you from the sanctuary. As you know, these last 6.5 months have been a long 6.5 months. 6.5 months since we've been able to gather together in person for worship inside of our building. Over the course of this time, our COVID response team has met consistently, prayerfully, and faithfully, seeking to answer the hard and unprecedented question of how can we continue to be able to be the Church of Jesus Christ worshiping together in this season of pandemic while seeking to do no harm as we do good and stay in love with God. Our aim from the very beginning is to preserve and maintain the health and well-being of our church family, our staff, and our community. We've been looking for ways for us to be in worship together while not adding to the risk of our church members or our community at large. We began this summer with house churches, and it has been good to my soul to see many of you engage in house church, and some for whom that is still deeply formative. 3 weeks ago, we kicked off a new ministry, our first step back on campus with Gospel Curbside, an outdoor worship service. It has been an incredible joy to be able to see your faces again, to worship together again, to pray together, and to serve God on this beautiful campus that God has given us and that so many of you have worked to steward and care for. It is my joy today to share with you that beginning October 11th for our 11 o'clock service and October 18th for our 8:30 Vine service, we will be able to move back into the building for worship. We will have worship, both of those services, in the sanctuary, where we can maintain recommended guidelines and procedures given to us by the state of Texas, as well as our annual conference. Know that if you come to worship in person, you will be asked to wear a mask. Your temperature will be checked when you come in the door. Our seating here in the sanctuary will be socially distanced and marked out. Our ushers will play a key role in this season of our shared life together that allows us to come back in worship while also doing our best to maintain the health and well-being of all who gather. They will help you find a seat. They will welcome you when you come in the door. And they will help see you forth into the world as we dismiss at the end. Our restrooms will be available for emergencies only in this time. So we ask that as much as you can, avoid using the restrooms. This will be a season in which we will not be able to provide coffee and or donuts. It is also a time when we ask all families to worship together. So if your family is like mine and you will be bringing kids with you to worship, we ask that they sit with you. Nursery and childcare will not be available in this time as we get started back into in-person worship here in the sanctuary. This is an exciting time in our life as a church family, and know that if you just heard yourself going, now what were all of the things that he just said? We'll be making a video in the next week or so to give you a window as to what it will look like for you to pull into the parking lot and every step of the way, make your way into the building, worship God together, and then be dismissed to serve God. Also know that on our website, we will have a list of all of the guidelines that we will be following just in case you need to reference those as well. We also want to make sure that you know that because of social distancing and seating, our seating is limited here in the sanctuary. We will have space for about 25 family units. And a family unit is defined as people who you live with. So whether that's 17 people or one person, each family unit will be seated 6 feet from another family unit. I know a lot of this sounds technical and hard and weird and different, but I promise you our ushers will be well trained, and we will do our best to make sure that this is a holy and life-giving experience for us all, as we seek to continue to be a church that makes deeply committed disciples of Jesus Christ for the transformation of the world. And just because I've done a lot of talking today, I want to end today by reminding you of those so important dates. October 11th at 11 a.m. We will be back here in the sanctuary for a traditional worship service. October 18th at 8:30 in the morning for the Vine right here in the sanctuary, followed by Gospel Curbside at 9:15, and then a service of worship, traditional service of worship here in the sanctuary at 11. As you just heard, we will continue our Gospel Curbside outdoor worship service, so that if you still want to worship God with your church family but aren't quite comfortable coming into the building yet, know that that option will continue to exist for you. Also know that we are committed to maintaining our online worship. We have made some technical investments over the last couple of months that allow us to continue to provide high quality online worship even while we have people back in the building. We're incredibly thankful for the saints who have helped us do those investments, because they will pay incredible dividends for all of us as a church family, no matter how we worship together in this upcoming season of our shared life. Church, I've been waiting a long time to say these words. Beginning October 11th, we get to return home. And for that, I say thanks be to God. Amen. I'll see you there.